Tentacles. She is such a strange yet enticing creature. Those golden swirls of hair seem to flow down her head, curling down over the top half of her face, as if to be soft, thick horns. The hair is the first feature noticed on this creature. The slender frame would be the second. However, those feminine features are irrelevant compared to the one thing that truly stood out, the eyes. Those eyes are like a force of gravity that can suck the very soul directly out of any who gaze upon them long enough. The eyes are wide enough to fluster the common man into a frenzy of madness, yet proportionate enough to avoid freakishness, just barely, though. The eyes of this creature are alien in nature, with a hint of sweet abysmal flame. The eyes are truly something to disarm the common man. She has almost an Innsmouth look, yet suggestions of this are countered with her humanesque way of blinking seemingly to a practiced fashion to deter any suspicions to this creature and its vile nature to devour the foolish, unsuspecting mortal men. The eyes cannot fully be described here or anywhere in its full entirety. The writer can only do an injustice with this poor description of the enticing alien's familiar eyes. The golden hair flows down halfway over the face, never shielding those eyes. The hair is a life form all to itself. She appears to have full control, with not even moving a singular muscle. The hair unnaturally moves. Without wind, it flows and even has an appearance of growth. With wind, the hair is perfectly still, as if to be fully solid and not hair at all. Within a crowd, no one notices that the look on the hair appears different. Not the color and shape of the golden locks, but the non-movement of the hair. No one really talks about it, and a casual onlooker will not even notice, even if they look differently at the hair. They never quite see what it looks like. Even when it takes a fully solid form that waves all by itself, the movements are never noticed, save the victim. Any victim of this creature might see from the corner of their eyes the true form of this creature. Immediately looking at her will only show her to be the human she was thought to be. A second and third glance, and even a close examination, will reveal nothing. She wears around her neck a necklace of aquatic design. Though most see an octopus, others might see a squid, some a turtle, and a few might see a human. No one thinks to collaborate what they see around her neck. No one even bothers to point out her queer jewelry. The victim can be taken in public with witnesses, and no one will remark or notice the demise of another directly in front of them. How can they? They might be right in front of the victim, yet they might as well be worlds away. She has a strange power over the common man. Her hair will flow from her head and even change to the natural green color it truly is. Witnesses will not see a thing. The hair does not weave together. It was already the beautiful grotesque tentacles flowing from her head. Her face and eyes are exactly as they appear. The only real illusion is in the hair. While the eyes intoxicate the common man, this very same common man might not notice the hair slowly moving out of the head and to the intended victim. There is no helping this poor soul. While the eyes freeze them in place with lust and envy, the common man stands in drab conversation, unaware of their fate to die by the hair slowly stretching out to them. By the time they might realize the truth, the tentacles are already covering the person's head. No one sees it, but if they could, the witness would see a multitude of tentacles stretching out from the various places on the creature's head, and other various body parts latching around the victim. Even her hands meld into a multitude of tentacles writhing around the victim's hands. Her very pores from tiny tentacles that grasp onto the victim around random places. The suction cups of them are impossible to rip off. They even excrete some kind of toxin that renders the victim paralyzed and silent. Although the eyes still entice the victim at this late stage, they do not move from the victim at all. She can control their every movement with her stretched out extremities, giving onlookers the illusion of life and nothing amiss from the common man. She forces the man to move close to her, moving him like a marionette. The man might be forced to wrap his arm around her or hug her or even kiss her. This is merely for show, or for her amusement, or even for her erotic pleasure. There is no way to know for certain regardless. The suction cups are literally sucking the life from the skin, blood, muscle, and leaving only bones, which she even sucks out the marrow. She usually makes a strange, harmless kissing sound, which she covers up by having the common man dance around her face with smothering kisses. Eventually, she has completely fed. Only empty bones and a brain within the skull remain. She leads the man to an unseen place. At this unseen place, she uses her tentacles to carefully crack open and remove the top of the man's skull. Several of her tiny feelers remove the man's brain and then drop the empty skeleton wherever she is while cuddling and caressing the brain. This brain is precious to her for some alien, undecipherable reason. All that can be said of this strange alien's motive is that she places the brain into a jar full of some unknown liquid. The brain is then taken to a hidden room full of similar jars with similar brains. The jar is placed in an empty location, and the creature rests and prepares to find yet another victim to add to her bizarre collection. That was Tentacles.